This is a podcast or something like that. Hello and welcome to the only justification I can have for continuing to charge your card every month through Patreon and YouTube memberships. Welcome to the Verbal Journal podcast, and it is episode 52. That's episode 52. That's 5 as in 5 times out of 10 I'm gonna have a good podcast episode, and then 2 as in me too. I hope you've had a great week. I hope you're ready to chat about a lot of things. I'm here back on the pod. It is Sunday morning, bright and early. We're not doing an evening episode tonight. I was way too tired last time. We were getting a lot of comments. People, they were correct. They were correctly pointing out I was extremely tired. My riffs were not as riffing. My punchlines were not as punchy, and nor were they in lines. So lots of learning experience that I've done over the last week just to prepare. My whole week is to prepare for the Verbal Journal podcast. You know, I work, I read, I write, I sleep, I eat, I hang out with friends, but for the most part, it's all of that is just so I can have things to talk about on the podcast when Sunday comes. So it's really exciting to me now to be here, sitting in this chair, back up against the chair seat. How can I paint this picture a little bit better? Microphone in front of my mouth. It's just really cool to be sitting here after 7 days. Well, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday. After 6 days, actually, I didn't need to count that. I could have logically worked that out. After 6 days, being back here on the 7th day, and on the 7th day, I don't rest, if you know what I mean. I work. This is very hard work, recording the Verbal Journal podcast. So without further ado, I hope you're doing great, and we got so much to talk about today, which should excite you up a little bit. It is Super Bowl Sunday. Let's go. Welcome to the Super Bowl. We got... Is the football team that I like gonna beat the football team that I don't like? That's the question a lot of people are asking themselves today. Super Bowl Sunday. What else to say about that? Well, I'll probably watch the Super Bowl later. A friend invited me to watch it with her family because I guess her family's in town and she wanted probably to balance out the family vibe. So I might do that, or I might just watch it on my own and paint. I've been doing some painting, as I like to do. I've been working on a bigger canvas, so if I watch the Super Bowl, I'll probably have to work on a smaller one so I can actually see the screen. You know, if you work on a bigger canvas, sometimes it takes up your peripheries. You can't even see the damn game. So Super Bowl Sunday, that's big news. Get out your fried chickens and get ready to cluck. Am I right? Another big point in the news, another big thing in the news, similar to the Super Bowl, Blue Sky, the website, has decided to let anyone on. You know, a few months after I very prestigiously get a Blue Sky account through my connections, my social connections, and my prestigious social connections, not just through a complete stranger posting invite codes on Twitter, but I get in through my prestigious social connections, and then a few months later, as if for reasons against me, they just I don't know what they're thinking. I guess they just think it's okay for anyone to just use Blue Sky. Blue Sky is a lot of power and privilege, and I don't know whether everyone should be using Blue Sky. It's sort of, for me, part of the deal is I basically run Blue Sky. I'm sort of the king of Blue Sky. There's a lot of people on Blue Sky that are saying, this is going to totally change the changed the whole vibe of the sky. People are saying, is it even going to be blue? Sorry, I had a whole speech prepared. I'm riffing. I'm really rattled by this whole thing. I don't use Blue Sky that much, if I'm being totally honest. I don't use it that much because I don't want to show off how cool I am. So realistically, this probably won't change my entire life, but it is very disturbing to think that anyone can just go and sign up for Blue Sky now. Let me know what you think about that in the comments section and whether that seems acceptable to you or unacceptable. News in my personal life. This is related to Better Call Saul. You know the yup thing on Better Call Saul? Yup. Well, my friend yupped me the other day. Someone said yup to me as if I'm on Better Call Saul. So I was like, Jesus Christ, I need to talk about this on the pod. You ever have someone actually say yup to you? I can tell why they used it in Better Call Saul. It's like the perfect word for what you don't want to hear someone say. I mean, on Better Call Saul, they're in the middle of having sex, so that's even more accentuated. But you really don't want to hear someone say yup in any situation unless it's called for some of the time, right? When you ask a very simple question and the answer is yup. Hey, is it cold out? Yup. But I was basically coordinating with a friend to maybe like make plans about something in the future, and my friend hit me up on Tuesday and said, hey, do you want to talk about making plans about that thing? And then I was like, oh, I'm kind of busy. Like, would you be free Thursday? And then he responded to me 10 hours later. Okay, so from noon to like 10 or 11 p.m., he responded to me, yup. I was so annoyed, like mildly, but I was annoyed. I was like, what the fuck, man? You, first of all, wait all day to respond. You might as well not respond at that point. I mean, I guess, but if you are going to respond, you gotta acknowledge that it's been all day. You gotta be like, oop, my bad. Yeah, that sounds good. But he just said yup. And, so I got yupped. And the ironic thing is, I was literally talking to my close friend on the phone, different friend. I was talking to my close friend on the phone, and my close friend starts going on about about someone he works with saying yup to him. Oh, no. It was his friend's girlfriend. Yeah, talking to his friend's girlfriend, like asking about her life, and then she just said yup to him, and he was talking about that, and I was like, dude, I got my own yup story. So there's something in the air. People are saying yup to each other a lot, and I don't know why. If you have any information on that, call 1-800-yup.org. It's a phone number that has .org in the name. Oh my God, this is just random. I don't think I talked about this on the pod. I talked about this in the Discord. I might have mentioned it on the pod. There was like this it's super random, but like a random video popped up for me on YouTube. It was like about Marxism, because YouTube knows I like to watch videos about Marxism. And so like I clicked it, and it was just like, it was very reactionary. Like YouTube will do that sometimes, like serve you up videos by small channels like that are against the thing that you find interesting and worth exploring, and like that explore it in a very unhelpful way. And YouTube, algorithm might not always know that really yet. They're testing it out, on different people. Like, you know what I mean? Like the algorithm's like, oh, what about let's see if this guy likes this. And it was just a bad video. It's not a big deal. There's a lot of videos I disagree with, but I thought it was also AI, and so I thought it was like there were weird typos in the title and the video, and so I thought it was AI. So I commented a mean comment. I was like, this video is garbage, basically. And I said the channel is garbage too, because I thought the whole channel was AI. But that was way too hard. Way too mean. It was way too mean. There's no reason to say someone's channel is garbage. A fucking small channel, like they only have like a few hundred subscribers or something. Like I don't care to insult a person. I literally thought it was like some corporate thing using AI for all the scripts and videos. So I wanted to hurt their feelings. Turns out it's a real fucking person, because like minutes after I comment, hey, this video and this channel are garbage, someone responds like insulting my IQ. And I was like, okay. And then I like sort of leave the video and come back to it, and they've edited their comment and changed what they're insulting me about, and instead insulting me about something else. And I'm like, that's weird for them to edit their comment. I refresh it a few minutes later, they've edited their comment again. I'm like, okay, this is actually unsettling to me. Like they're taking like a personal, it feels like they're taking too much personal interest in responding to me. And then they like realize I'm a YouTuber, and they're like, oh, like, thanks for the feedback, YouTuber. Like they're being like, and I'm like, okay, I shouldn't have. So I respond, hey, I'm sorry. I responded, hey, I'm sorry. I didn't realize you were a real person. I thought this was like an AI or something. I don't mean to insult your channel, but this is a misguided video. And then I, a few minutes later, deleted both my comments because I was like, I want nothing to do with this person. They deleted that video. A few days later, I realized they deleted it, or maybe even that day they deleted the video. I was like, that's weird. I didn't need them to. I wish I didn't say anything. Why did I even interact with that person? And they had left a comment on one of my videos, and I hid them from my channel. Like they had taken. They'd really responded, and I was like, I should not have personally attacked their channel. Obviously, I don't want to make enemies on the internet, and it's not a big deal there are a lot of people who disagree with me about political economy. So their whole channel was, I'm sorry, the video was deleted. The video was gone. And I'm like, okay, I guess they're like rewriting the video or something. Then the video comes back, and I'm like, a few days ago, and I'm like, okay, I'm glad the video's back. I want them to just post their stupid video, and I'm not going to comment on it. Obviously, I don't comment on it. When I think they reposted it. They didn't just private it. I think they fucking, wait, right? They did. Actually, yeah, they did, because there was another comment on the original one. So they reposted the video, and I think, like, I cannot for the life of me remember, but I think I thought it was AI because it was a computer voice reading it the first time, and it's not a computer voice reading it now. It's clearly the guy who runs the channel. But other older videos are a computer voice, so I think I didn't make that up. Anyways, I tried to find them. I periodically, every few days now, I'll just like be like, I wonder what that channel's up to, and so I looked into it, and yesterday it seemed like their whole channel was deleted. I was like, their whole channel is deleted. Oh wait, 1 second. Just got a text, so I like paused it to respond to the text, and then my phone restarted, so it took a minute or two to get back. So I thought this person's channel was deleted. Turns out they changed the name. I found the channel again through sort of my watch history, and they're still kicking, and they got some criticisms on their video, and they respond, and they're an interesting person, and I am glad that I am not interacting with them online. So the moral of the story is don't comment on stuff unless you have something constructive to say and you want to engage with that creator. I mean, it is a very strange person, and I do think they're using AI for their video scripts or certainly their video thumbnails and other parts. But I mean, I'm not here. I'm not the AI police. It just, whatever. There's a lot of bad channels, So, okay, well, next up. So I've talked about artist biographies. I don't think I actually mentioned last time that I'm on to a new biography. I am reading, and it's actually not an artist. He's one of the most famous art dealers, art collectors, and gallerists of the last 100 years, Leo Castelli. And this biography I'm reading is absolutely fascinating. It's by, I believe, Annie Cohen Salal. I believe it's translated from Italian, and he was Italian. He was born in Italy, actually born in Austria-Hungary, and then the town Trieste was annexed by Italy at the end or towards the end of the First World War, I believe, or I could be wrong on some of the details, but this book is amazing because I've never seen a biography like this. I've read a bunch of them now, as you know, if you've listened to the podcast. This book goes so much into the background of the guy's life and his family tree. Like, it's 50 or 60 pages before we're like even talking about his life. Literally. Like, I'm almost like 80, 90, 100 pages in, and he's like 18 or 19 at this time. None of these biographies, I've not read one. It went into his family tree centuries before he was born. this writer, like, not even necessarily with records from Leo Castelli. Like, she worked with him for years, for like 10 years, but I don't think she was actually officially putting together a biography. And like, she mentioned, like, when he died, she then like decided to do a bunch of work to learn about his background. So like, she did so much of this on her own, and like went to these other cities and like tracked down these original handwritten birth records in countries that don't even exist anymore. Like, it's just fascinating. And I mean, just an unbelievable degree of background. So I've actually learned a ton of just history, and like, it's also interesting learning about like Jews in Italy, and like like his family, his mom's side, especially the like, which is actually the Castelli side, which he ended up taking Castelli instead of his dad's name Kraus, or switched it at a certain point. I forget how that worked. Yeah, he switched it. He was Kraus, and then he switched it probably when he. Yeah. I'm not at that point where he switched it yet to Castelli. That was when he moved in his like 20s from Italy, I think, to the U.S. or something. But anyways, yeah. So the Castellis were Jews in a small town in Italy, and so I was just learning about Italy around the like 1700s even, and like all the different like edicts from the royalty in Italy, and then Austria-Hungary was the empire then of that territory, and like just the shifting edicts of like Jews are repressed, Jews are actually favored because we want them to, we want to make room in our society for, you know, Jews to do their work that we've sort of forced them into, you know, that they do well. Like, Jews would basically be discriminated against in a lot of places, so they would end up doing sometimes what's the word for it when you ship things like illegally, what's the word for that? I don't know, but they would like develop these skills because they would be pushed into industries that, you know, wherever they could work, and then they'd get good in those industries, and then I'm grossly simplifying history, but like, it's fascinating how an outgroup can be pushed into being an outgroup, treated as an outgroup a lot of the time, sometimes welcomed into being an in-group, and then the outgroup itself can have a very confused identity about, do we want to be an outgroup, do we want to be an in-group? As a Jewish person myself, it's very interesting. I do have some Italian, I think, in me, actually, a surprising amount. I didn't always know, but I think my Jewish side doesn't come from Italy as much, I think. But I think it's more from like Eastern Europe. But anyways, one interesting thing is, I think this is the first biography I've read written by a woman besides Francois Guillot, who, it was more of a memoir about her experience with Picasso, and then Gertrude Stein's biography of Picasso, which was hilarious. If you remember me talking about that, it was like really poorly translated. And also, I've since confirmed I don't like Gertrude Stein, and I don't. Yeah, I'm sure she had some good qualities, but yeah, not a fan. So I think it wasn't just a translation error. Last thing about this Leo Castelli biography is, like, as we're in the 20s in Italy with Mussolini, like, literally fascism is taking over in Italy in the story. And what's fascinating is I'm remembering, I knew this at some point, but I'm remembering, like, fascism. Nowadays, if you say the word fascism, it has a negative connotation. Before history knew that it should be such, in the 1920s, fascism didn't, like to anyone smart, they'd be like, you know, fascism seems very stupid. It's clearly anti-intellectual. It's clearly based around this hero worship. Like, you don't have to be a genius. But in the common parlance, in the newspapers, it was like in the legislation, it's like, we need to educate our youth in fascism. Like, people, like it was talked about without a negative connotation. It's like, oh no, we need to teach people about fascism, and we need to promote the fascistic perspective on the world. And it's so funny to read that and to think that it was used neutrally, and not because people were like, well, it's just another mode of political organization. Not me. I think fascism's bad. Ha ha. I win. Okay, so for other correct opinions, let's go to our next article on the agenda. This is British Museum will publicly display some of its stolen gems. The recently recovered Roman objects previously languished in storage, making them vulnerable to theft. Oh, we wouldn't want stolen gems to be vulnerable to theft. Oh, wait, I think I misunderstood. I thought the gems were stolen, but it says the British Museum has announced plans to include 10 Roman gems that were stolen from its collection in a free exhibition, Rediscovery Gems, so far opening this month. The items are among the 350 that have so far been recovered from the 2,000 pieces of jewelry, gems, and glassware that were allegedly stolen by the museum's ex-curator for Greek antiquities, Peter Higgs. Oh, okay, I totally misunderstood. I thought this was going to be about, like, they were stolen from a dig site or something. I don't know. I mean, yeah, that's interesting. So they were stolen after they were brought to the museum rather than before. Okay, well, that's all I had to say about that. Next up is a Twitter tweet. It's what appears to be some sort of photo. What is this? Oh, the scale. Oh, it's a scale of presidential doodles. So I found someone posted presidential doodles from Nixon to Eisenhower. Wait. Oh, I was like, what's going on? No, I'm sorry. The scale is not chronological. The scale is from abstract to realistic. Yeah, because I'm like from Nixon to Eisenhower. And then I look in between and there's Theodore Roosevelt and Barack Obama. So interesting. Okay, so it's, wow, holy shit. Richard Nixon did like abstract geometric shapes. Are you kidding? And then Herbert Hoover did similar ones. Whoa, Nixon's art is fucked. That's crazy that's what Nixon's art looked like. Okay, and then Warren Harding, kind of cool, like graphic sort of, almost like street art. Oh yeah, Art Deco of the 1920s. Lyndon Johnson, kind of comic-y. Theodore Roosevelt, interesting, almost like not Norman Rockwell, but like little like scenes, little nice little scenes. Barack Obama, sort of looks like I don't know. Yeah, I guess he can sort of draw realistic depictions of other senators. When he was a senator, he went on to be the president, Barack Obama. Rutherford B. Hayes, that's a pretty nice drawing of a woman, a nice little head. Ronald Reagan drew really lame, oh my god, a cowboy, a horse, and a football player. Wow, Ronald Reagan, you were like a child. Wow, okay, so I have to say my favorite one here is probably Herbert Hoover. Potentially Warren G. Harding, though. That's a cool style. Okay. Cool. Nice. So what else? What else? So, okay, cool. Like, sorry, I just got distracted by the internet for a second. There's a lot of stuff on the internet, you know. Next up, oh yeah, there's a tweet. I saw a tweet it's about Tesla, if you know about the company Tesla. And the name of the Twitter account is Teslaconomics. Teslaconomics. And I'm like really annoyed by that. I feel like that's not, and it's a huge account. Like the account has 240,000 followers. Teslaconomics. Shouldn't it be Teslanomics? That must be already a thing, right? Because Teslaconomics, you don't need economic. Like you're not putting the word Tesla in for the letter E. You need to put it in for a larger chunk of the word you're replacing. This is basic. I almost said basic skeuomorphism. I've been rewatching H Bomber Guy's James Somerton video, plagiarism video. I rewatch it all the time when I'm eating, so I don't know if skeuomorphism is a real word. I feel like it is. Anyways, I'm not using it correctly. But Teslanomics, like, works. It's not adding too many syllables. Oh, but that is an account already, but it doesn't exist. Wait, does that mean it's taken? I guess Teslanomics doesn't really work either. Teslaconomics really doesn't work, though. So, little point of order there. Next up, ESPN. We got sports news. Today's the Super Bowl, as we discussed. Survey says Americans are expected to bet $23.1 billion on billion dollars on Super Bowl this year. On the Super Bowl, I feel like 23 billion on the Super Bowl Americans are betting. That's big. That's a big one. If you're part of those Americans, good luck on your betting. If you're from another nation and you enjoy gambling, good luck on that. I think betting is really not great. I'm not like morally against it, but I think it's not a good call strategically. But I will say, with so much money on the in the air, I hope things go Americans' way, because if the right team wins with 23.1 billion on the line, we're talking about Americans making 46.2 billion. No, that's not how it works. I don't think you just double your money. How does it work? I don't know. I have some clients who've done a fair amount of gambling. I've worked with people with problematic gambling tendencies too. It's obviously very addictive. I remember reading that it's more addictive than cocaine or many other drugs, because you don't know if you're going to get the high when you're doing it. So it's an uncertain dopamine rush or whatever, rush of other neurochemicals. But yeah, really not a fan of gambling, completely morally against the streamers who gamble for an audience of children. I think, Magnus Carlsen, other, the famous chess player, and others will, a lot of people promote gambling. I think promoting gambling is blatantly unethical. I think gambling yourself, not necessarily unethical at all. It could be a strategically bad decision, but it could be totally fun every now and then. Play poker, play blackjack, whatever, responsibly. But promoting gambling is a whole nother thing. And the same thing with drugs. I think there's absolutely nothing wrong with doing drugs from a moral standpoint. It could strategically be a bad idea, and I really don't ever suggest to people to do drugs. I don't even mean my clients. I obviously don't suggest to my clients to do drugs. Medications are different. I don't suggest that either, but that's, those can be prescribed by someone who knows what they're doing. And there's, medications can also have issues, but there's obviously some degree of difference when you're having a professional sort of take a look at what's going on and prescribe something. But I don't promote drugs to clients, but also to my friends. I would never, I like smoking a little weed every now and then, and I think there's a healthy place for some other drugs. I would never promote it, and I would never, I'll rarely even offer weed to friends who I know smoke weed. I just rarely will do that, because I don't know. It's not horribly unethical if it's just a little weed, but I don't like promoting drugs in any way. I just feel like they're not necessary. And so even though I might enjoy them, I think there's a big difference between promoting them and enjoying them. And definitely with gambling, I think that's a huge difference as well. I think people who live stream gambling should be absolutely ashamed of themselves on Twitch, on other things, especially if you're getting sponsored by the gambling companies. I think it's never too late to back out and do something more ethical with your time. Okay, for our headline story this week, we are going to follow up on what I talked about last time in the chess world. So Hans Niemann, the up-and-coming guy who's up and came a little bit quick and, sued Magnus Carlsen, Hikaru Nakamura, Chess.com, so on, after getting called out for his cheating in ways that were probably not ideal, but a young person any person should just focus on taking accountability rather than defending themselves when they actually, have done some things wrong. You might get accused of it in a way you don't like, but, you should probably focus on the accountability, because now he's just kind of made himself into the villain of the chess world. And as I talked about last week, I went through a bunch of comments on his videos. He's uploading this whole video series now, Journey to World Chess Champion, day 1, day 2, he's on day 11 now. I was like, that's really interesting and not a good idea strategically, probably, but it is good content. And I was showing all the people who identify with him, and one point I didn't really make explicitly, but if you are a man and your brand is about having done something wrong, and your whole shtick is that you don't admit you did anything wrong, you will have a lot of men who are predisposed to enjoy what you're up to. I think there's a lot of men, and I could say it's other people too, but also men also, who just have like a lot of stuff they don't want to think about that they've done wrong. And so if you're a man and you're projecting this like, I don't take responsibility attitude, that's very attractive to a lot of men who are like, yeah, man, we shouldn't be held accountable for what we've done before, but it's a little bit under the surface. So I'm going to share a few more things from my observations about this Hans Niemann situation, which has gotten more significant. Quick catch up if you haven't seen. So basically, St. Louis Chess Club, biggest chess club in the United States, which is the country Hans Niemann is from, said he can't play in any tournaments with them this year because he trashed a hotel room and did other bad stuff last year. And he was like, well, how come you never invited me to stuff before I trashed the hotel room for a whole year, even though I was not doing anything wrong besides suing major players in the chess world and also had been legitimately accused of cheating and had admitted it and then walked it back. And so now we're at this point where he's like proving how little he cares about the St. Louis Chess Club while begging to be let back in because he will not take accountability for what he's done wrong. So just some more interesting stuff that stuck with me. On his day 5 video, someone left a comment that kind of sums it all up. Oh my God, I love this comment. I put this in my Google Doc because I was like, holy fuck, y'all. Okay, so if you've listened to this a lot, you've heard me talk about like how maybe when I was younger, 19, 20, I was like, when I've talked about narcissism or like surrealism and stuff, I don't think I was a narcissist, but I was way less aware of my own thoughts and feelings and behaviors. And I was definitely more self-involved and selfish. And so a lot of my like sense of self comes from like kind of cultivating a more mature identity while retaining some of my, whatever isn't bad from who I am. So like I care a lot about having grown from that place, and that place is a little bit hard to define and put words on. But anyway, so this comment is really hit home, and I'll explain why. This person said on Hans Niemann's video, dude, I once thought I was Hunter Thompson, tried to emulate his bigger than life persona and fell right on my ass. You're doing the same. I literally cannot tell you how my jaw dropped when I read that comment. For someone to look at Hans Niemann's situation, everyone has a different level of insight. That's what's so fascinating. I'll literally spend many minutes going through his comment section because there's a lot of people that are just like, hell yeah, man, you are awesome and an inspiration. But then there's someone like this who not only sees what's going on, they localize it to a specific fucking inspiration. Hunter Thompson. When I was 16, 17, I read Hunter Thompson books for the first time. So Hunter Thompson famously wrote Fear and Loathing in Las Vegas, the book that was turned into the movie, and he was portrayed in that movie. He sort of created or popularized gonzo journalism, where you're a journalist, but you get very involved in the story. He wrote a book about the Hells Angels that I read, where he got extremely ingrained in the Hells Angels. So much so that he was in danger a fair bit of the time, not being a Hells Angel himself as well. But so Hunter Thompson, and he's famous for doing a lot of drugs and basically just like living on the edge and like, I'm larger than life. So this comment pointing that out is so insightful. It's actually crazy. And that's very much, Hunter Thompson was one of the bigger potentially one of the biggest inspirations to that sort of maybe adolescent is being kind because I was older, but it's an adolescent mentality. Hunter Thompson, Salvador Dali, what other, just like so many, like, I guess like James Joyce, they're not all similar. They're not all megalomaniacs, but like all these different inspirations kind of blending together, all being like not healthy in totality, sort of, because they're maybe like too excessively focused on like independence and lack of responsibility, which is just like not everything in life. Anyways, I just thought that was so fucking cool that someone pointed that out. I was like, no way someone just brought up Hunter Thompson. I'm pretty sure, yeah, I could be wrong. I don't think Hans Niemann's talking about Hunter Thompson in the video. Oh, this is just a chess fact. In the U.S. Chess Federation, only 13% of players are women, while this percentage is even lower in other chess federations, like in FIDE, the just like overall European and like global chess organization. 11% are female. Wow, I did not realize it was that low. Only 11 to 30. So average of 12%. Wow. And that's just going to change over time, hopefully. God, it should be 40, 50%. I mean, that's wild that it's only 12%. All right, comment on Hans's video day 7. Another comment. Someone said, "I like you, dude. Stop shooting yourself in the foot." That's an expression I saw that in multiple comments, people using the expression shooting yourself in the foot. Or at the very least, giving people/bodies with a to whatever degree Okay, yeah, I forgot. This comment is what I loved about this comment is the vernacular. This person should write a book, and I'm not joking. I love the vernacular, the way that the spoken voice is communicated in writing. Okay, so check this out. I'm going to start it over. "I like you, dude. Stop shooting yourself in the foot. Or at the very least, giving people/bodies with a, to whatever degree unjustified, vendetta against you, license to block your cock, man. They are begging you to even half step a toe out of line so they can say they're justified in sidelining you. Get your emotions under control or whatever. In today's society, they deaf are pushing some deliberately perverted/twisted ideas of what's masculine or strong or tough. Being loud and/or losing control is not manly or tough or whatever and isn't beneficial in any way. I'm not saying you make a huge habit of this sort of thing or it's your pattern or whatever. It does happen to everyone on occasion, but making excuses for it in your specific position is counterproductive. Dude, tighten up. Cool, calm, calculated, not hysterical, emotional hysterics, big mama. Not hysterical, emotional hysterics, big mama." He calls Hans big mama. You got this, dude. Wow, I just thought that was so funny. He calls Hans big mama. Okay. And then I was talking about how Hans hearts a bunch of the comments. He hearted this one comment that says, "Hans should start talking smack mid-round in classical." And Hans also hearted a comment that said, "Hans is a pretty okay guy," which is funny. I would do that. And then the only critical comment I've seen him heart is a comment that says, "A video of a video of a video." First time I've seen that, lol. I think Hans just needs to get a grip and move on, focus on his Iron Man training in his spare time, and be brilliant at chess. Okay, so it's not the most critical comment. Hans also hearted the first 12 comments on that video. So he did write a letter to St. Louis Chess Club. He wrote a whole letter. It's just justifying his behaviors and not really taking accountability. What's funny is he has this famous catchphrase, "I let the chess speak for myself." I'll let the chess, let the chess speak for itself. And he walked out of an interview before all the cheating stuff, before he got caught for all the cheating stuff. That's what he was famous for, is walking away from an interviewer after a game saying, "Oh, the chess speaks for itself," which kind of says it all. But it's so funny because I forget if I mentioned this, but like all his fans on all these rants and all these letters, they're like, "Man, I thought the chess was supposed to speak for itself, man. You're doing a lot of talking, daily 20-minute videos for your YouTube channel, but the chess is speaking for itself. Are we sure about that?" And then he tweeted, like he's tweeting more now. And one of the things he tweeted, sorry. This is a message to tournament organizers. Wait, but before that, he tweeted, and this is not a joke. I don't think, like, you would think this has to fucking be a joke, but I do not think it's a joke. Based on the context, let me find the exact context. Gotham Chess posted, "Can Hans to St. Louis Chess Club, can Hans Niemann play if he stays at an Airbnb?" Which is a joke, obviously. I think that's got to be a joke, right? He's got to be kidding about that. Like, because Hans trashed the hotel room. So can he play if he stays at an Airbnb? I would think has to be a joke. But Hans quote tweets it and says, "I will post a before and after of every hotel room that I stay in this year. I am very grateful for any opportunity to play the game I love. I hope to return to St. Louis to show my best chess soon. My passion for the game takes precedent over any drama." Like, it does not seem that he's joking when he says, "I will post a before and after of every hotel room that I stay in this year." That is hilarious. Like, dude, yes, like it is beyond the bare minimum. Like it is such a bare minimum that it's so bare and so minimum to even imagine that. Like, yes, we know that now that you've been caught trashing a hotel room, you should be able to not trash hotel rooms. Like that is not a minimum even. Like that's way below the bare minimum. So like no one's curious about whether you can behave yourself in hotel rooms now that you've been called out and banned for a year publicly from practicing your profession in the United States with the major chess club, the St. Louis Chess Club. I mean, the audacity, just really wild. Okay, so very cool, and okay, okay, so let's see what he said in this message to tournament organizers. You won't hear it that well, but I'll tell you.
Hello everyone, this is Hans Niemann, just reminding everyone that I don't have glass windows all around my apartment, so Anishkiri, everything will be safe, don't worry. I wanted to take the chance to address all tournament.
So that's, I don't have glass windows, so everyone, okay, that's, I don't know, man. I think it might be a little too soon to joke about how you just got called out for destroying a hotel room after a loss.
Organizers, and to say that if you are a tournament organizer organizing a strong open, or if you are have a team in the leagues, I'm currently looking for a team in the Spanish league, the Polish league, and the Turkish league. So if you have a team in any of those leagues, or you are an organizer, I would love to.
So he's saying he wants organizers to include him, and he wants to be included in team leagues, and he wants to get on a team in these European leagues. It's just sad, man. I seriously do, it's just sad. Like, he really is shooting himself in the foot with a lot of the stuff he does, and it's very difficult to watch. He's obviously an extremely good chess player, but for every industry you're in, it's a people industry. Okay, we're done with Hans Niemann for today. Maybe there will be more to talk about, maybe not. Whatever. Screen time support, screen time report. Surprise! We have a surprise for the screen time report today. Surprise! I'm instead going to talk about watching Simply Snaps' video. Oh my gosh. Simply Snaps, obviously, she helped me write the script a little bit. I mean, I did a lot of it, but she fucking helps so much. So basically, Snaps, when I had written the Breaking Bad script, I showed it to Snaps, and she was like, "Oh, okay, you suck at writing, like you're terrible at making YouTube videos." She really ripped me into shape. She basically said, "I'm going to rewrite every word of this thing. You have no idea what the fuck you're talking about." No, but she was really helpful with so much on the Breaking Bad script, and helping me kind of frame some of my arguments and add in some details I had missed and correct a few things that I had messed up. And so I knew she was really smart and funny and cool and made cool videos of her own. But she fucking put so much work into this new video about The Legend of Zelda. She found this very creative, different playthrough, hanging out in the depths, I believe it's called. It's what the gamers call the depths. And she made such a good video about it. It's so well put together, and it's so cool to me to see all these people leaving comments who are fans of Legend of Zelda being like, "This is the best fucking Legend of Zelda video I've ever seen." Like, I've gotten a few of those on my Breaking Bad video, and those are the types of comments where you're like, "Oh, hell yeah." Like, where someone's like, "You just slayed the genre." Like, it's like, "Oh, fuck, stop, my ego, stop." Snaps, your video, if you're hearing this, so entertaining, so funny, like, so much fun to watch. I will rewatch it. It's totally one of those videos you can rewatch, and it's just a fun little journey. And yeah, I was so happy to see that. That was so cool after having your help on my Breaking Bad video, to see you absolutely owning and getting 100,000 views in a couple weeks or a month. I don't know what it's been, a month. 100,000 views on a channel with Snaps. How many subscribers do you have? Do you even have 5,000 subscribers? Hold on. That's such a fucking slay. 3.78 thousand subscribers getting a video with 120,000 views, and it is clearly fucking cooking still. And it is going to cook for a while, and the thumbnail's dope. Oh my God, Snaps, you absolutely killed, and your channel is going to really, really keep taking off. When you can get 100K with 3,000 subscribers, you fucking know your shit. That just shows how good the video is. Okay, and we're going to finish up with the mailbag segment. So this is, you can write into verbaljournalpodcast@gmail.com. Lots of people write in. No one wrote in this time, but that is total coincidence. Usually we have so many letters coming in, and it's like very, very cool. So that's just a coincidence that no one wrote in today. Or not a coincidence. I don't know what the word would be. An isolated event. It's a one-time thing. Usually we're getting a lot of people writing in where you're like, oh, please stop writing in. Usually I end every episode, please stop writing in. Okay, well, that's it for today. Thanks so much for listening. Have a great rest of your life until I talk at you next. And I will I'll try to do the same. Okay, goodbye.
This is a